Namaskar, everyone. Let us begin with a prayer. This is on page 210 of this book, The Universal Prayers. The first two on that page. These two verses are from Tulsidasa's Ramayana, Ramastotra. Om Namami Bhaktavatsalam Kripalu Komalam Bhajami Te Padambujam Yakaminam Swadhamadam Tadekamadbhutam Prabham Nirihamishwaram Vibham Jagadgurum Cha Shashwatam Turiyameka Kevalam Bhajami Bhava Vallabham Koyoginam Sudurlabham Sabhakta Kalpa Padapam Samasta Sevyamanvaham Arupa Rupa Bhupatim Natohamurvijapatim Prasida Dehi Me Vibho Padabja Bhakti Masute. The translation is on page 211. O Lord, I bow down to thee, who art compassionate, gracious, and sweet. Thou alone, O Lord, art marvelous, selfless, mighty, and omnipresent. Thou art the teacher of the world, eternal, transcendent, one and absolute. I worship thy lotus feet that enable the selfless souls to attain to thy eternal abode. I offer worship unto thee, O Lord of love, whom the worldly minded cannot reach, but who art to the devotees the wish-yielding tree and the object of worship to all. Lord of the universe, thou art formless and yet with forms. Have mercy upon me, O Lord, and pray promptly grant me devotion to thy lotus feet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Peace. Peace be within us all. Peace and harmony be amongst all beings. And peace be everywhere in nature. Let us continue. Last time we were studying sloka number 59 in chapter 18. In verse 57, Bhagavan Shri Krishna asks Arjuna once again to dedicate all actions to the Lord. This instruction has come several times before in the earlier chapters. We saw that in the third chapter, sloka number 30, 330, where the Lord had given this instruction to dedicate all action, everything that we do to God, to offer everything that we do to God, along with 4 other instructions. 5 total instructions he gave in that one verse, 330. There he had said, Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya, dedicating all actions to me, adhyatma cetasa, being constantly aware of the divine presence within us, and also as a servant of the Lord, dasa, as a servant serves his master, one should serve the Lord. All our work, everything that we do is a service. With this attitude, Ishvaraya Bhritya eva sarvani karmani karomi iti matya. Shankara says, commenting on this verse. The Lord Ishvara, Bhritya eva, as a servant, sarvani karmani karomi, I do all my work. With that attitude. So these instructions he had given before in chapter 3. Again, in chapter 9, he repeated the same instruction more emphatically. There he said, chapter 9, verse 27, he said, whatever you do, offer it to me. Yat karoshi, tat kurusha madarpanam. Whatever you do. And he gives certain examples. What kind of activities can we offer to God? Yadashnasi. First thing he mentions is whatever you eat. Whatever we eat, it is not to fulfill our desire for food, but it is to be offered as ahuti, offering to the Lord, because he is present in the bodies of all the beings. As what? As Vaishvanara, the digestive power. That we studied in the 15th chapter, verse 14. Aham Vaishvanaro bhutva praninam dehaṃkāramāśritya. As Vaishvanara, I have taken up precedence in the bodies of all the living beings, human beings, animals, and plants. What does he do there? There he says, Pranapana samayuktaha pachamyannam chaturvidham. All kinds of food people eat, I shall digest. Aham pachami, I shall digest. The Lord is saying, once we eat food, there our effort ends. The digestion takes place on its own. All functions take place on their own. Blood circulation, digestion, breathing, everything. This is God's power functioning in our bodies. So he is present there. Therefore, whatever we eat should be done as an offering to him. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yat jahoshi. Homa means fire ceremony. Setting up a home of fire, invoking the divine presence and doing all the offerings. That havana homa. Whatever you do, dadasiyat, whatever charity we give, big or small. Yat tapasyasi, whatever austerity we do. 3 kinds of austerities is studied in 17th chapter. Austerities of the body in chapter 17, verse 14. Austerities of speech, chapter 17, verse 15. Austerities of the mind, chapter 17, verse 15. So 16. So all that we study. Whatever austerity we do, yattapasasi kaunteya, tat kurushramadarpanam, do it as an offering to me. That came. Now here in 1857, same instruction is repeated because it is important. We should not forget. Whatever we do, we should remember to offer it to God as our offering. Why should we offer? Not that he needs our work, not to fulfill his need. What does he need? The Lord. Because of his grace, his power, we are able to do something. So we are asked to offer everything we do to him, because when you offer something, 2 things happen. One thing is we give up attachment to that thing that we offer. Not mine, to you I am offering, hereafter it is to you, yours. Offering means giving up attachment to the whatever we offer. Karma, karma phala, both we have to offer. The work I do and the result thereof should be offered to God. That means I have no more connection with it. Whatever comes, I accept it. Good or bad, pleasant, unpleasant, success or failure, with equanimity, and it is offered to God. no more attachment. That is one meaning of offering, one purpose of offering. The second purpose why we should offer anything to anybody is to express our love for somebody. When you give something to somebody, it is to say, I'm giving this little thing to you, thereby expressing my happiness, my joy, my love for you, like that one. Expression of devotion to God, offering. When somebody comes to our house, we offer something, a cup of tea or something. Why? Not to fulfill their needs, but to express our happiness. How happy that you have chosen to come to my place. They could have gone someplace else. That they have come to my place is an expression of their concern, love for me. Otherwise, they would not have come. So I'm happy. To express my happiness and love for them, the little offering is done. With that spirit of expression of love, devotion to God, means offering means that one. So how to offer is mentioned in 1857. Chetasa, first word, mentally only. Physically, how can we offer anything to God? In mind, mentally, we should say, oh Lord, whatever I am doing, I am offering it to you. It's yours. I am doing it as an offering to you, as my humble service, as my seva. Please accept it like this. Chetasa sarva karmani mai sanyasya. Very important instruction. We should remember it every time we do something, which is all the time. Second instruction, mat paraha. Para means something supreme. Mat para means one most important thing, supreme of supreme importance in our life is God. Should be God. Mat para, being keeping me the highest in one's life. Mat para means this term mat para has come several times before. Mat para means here matparaha aham vasudevaha paraha yasya saha sattvam matpara. Aham here means the Lord is speaking. Himself, God Vasudeva, himself, or in whatever form you worship. He is the most important thing in my life. Everything else will come later. If you ask four people what is one most important thing in your life, you'll get different answers. One person may say, my family is very important to me. Everything comes later. That is important to such a one person. Another person may say, my job, my research is, a scientist will say, my research is important to me. Day and night, that person works in a lab, neglecting his own health and family and everything, forgets to eat also. Scientist committed to research, like Madame Curie did. She neglected her own health. She discovered radium. Those days, there was no big government funds. All money got a little bit here and there. In her own home, in the basement, workshop, lab, she did work, dedicate her whole life to research, neglecting her health. So like that, dedication is there. My research, science is important to me, scientist says. If you say another person what is important to you, he says, my health is important. If I'm healthy, then I can take care of other things. So I go to gym every day. I work hard. I eat and I sleep and take care of my health. I work out. Like this, you get different answers. But for a devotee, the one most important thing in his or her life must be God. Mat paraha. Everything will come later. God first. Other things will come later. We don't have to give up other things. We can have family, job, money, friends, and everything. But God comes first. If our devotion to God, if I have God's grace, all these other things will work out. Chetasa sarve karmani maya sanyasa matparaha. Another instruction, buddhi yogamāśritya, resorting to concentrated understanding. Buddhi yogam, it says. Here, buddhi yoga, in the commentary, Shankara says, buddhi yogam samahita buddhitvam buddhi yoga. Samahita means concentrated, focusing total attention on God when you do some work, not thinking about so many other distracting thoughts, putting our whole mind on the work that we do. That is meaning of Buddhi Yoga in this context. Work. In earlier context, the word Buddhi Yoga has come a couple of times before in Gita earlier chapters. In the Jnana Yoga context, for a Jnani, Buddhi Yoga means for a devotee, Buddhi in the devotional path for people who are devotees of God, Buddhi Yoga means Vasudeva Sarvamiti. God, Vasudeva is all and everything. Everything is He. Other things are less. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate. After many lifetimes, a jnani comes to this conclusion, firm conviction. What? Vasudeva sarvamiti. God is all in all. God is all. Everything else is because of Him. God is the one behind the zeros. Because of the one, the zeros get value. Without the one, zeros are zeros. Everything in the world, our life, our body, mind, our work, our family, everything in this world acquires meaning because of the presence of God in everything. That is not there, nothing is of any significance. God's all in all. Vasudeva Swaramiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. Such a Mahatma is very rare. To come to that conclusion, God is all in all, it takes many lifetimes. Bahunam Janmanam. That is another meaning of Buddhi Yoga. Buddhi Yoga in the Karma Yoga context means that comes in the second chapter, Buddhi Yoga. It means performing all work with dedication and remaining equanimous in success and failure. This was explained in 2 verses in the second chapter, Buddhi Yoga in the Karma Yoga context. Chapter 2, verses 47-48. There Bhagavan had said, there you have only right to work. Karmani evate adhikaraha ma phaleshu te adhikaraha. In regard to fruit of work, you have no control. We do the work, or so we think. But the result is not in our control. We are not the people to decide the outcome of our work, though our part is there in doing the work. Outcome of the work depends upon not only what we do, but on several other factors, all of them combined control the output, shape the output. Those other factors we don't even know at this stage. They are mentioned later in the 18th chapter, verse 14. Total 5 factors are there. Panchaitani mahabaho karanani nibodame. Five factors are there which affect our work. Not just what we do. What we do is one of them. So, knowing that one, whatever result comes, Yogastha 248, Yogastha kuru karmani, Sangam tyaktva dhananjaya, Siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva, Samatvam yoga uchyate. That is Buddhi Yoga in the Karma Yoga context. So Buddhi Yoga means all these things. Here it means, Buddhi Yoga here means, in this context, Samahita Buddhitvam. Concentrated mind. When we do some work, we should fully concentrate on the work we do. Not think of other things. Distraction should be not there. Machitta satatam bhava. Satatam means always, uninterruptedly, machitta, keeping your mind on God. Whatever we do, our mind should be on God. Because how can we think about God when we are doing something? If you do that something as worship of God, then it will be possible. Before we start the work, we should say, I'm going to do this work. I'm doing it as worship, as an offering to God. Then you do the work, and then afterwards we say, I've done this work as an offering to the Lord. May good happen. I'm not doing it for my own personal glory or anything. I've done it as an opportunity to serve the Lord with humility, to the best of my ability. This is offered to Him. That is Machitta Satatam Bhava. So these instructions are very important. 1857. That's why we are going through them again. And then if we do this, what happens? The benefit is mentioned in 58. Machitta sarva durgani matprasadat tarishyasi atachetvam ahamkaran nashroshyasi vinangsyasi. He gives, Sri Krishna gives instruction here to Arjuna. These instructions here given from chapter 2 onwards. So many different things he has told. So we should assimilate them, understand them, try to follow them. If you disregard them, then it is not in our interest. That the Lord cautions. Machittaha, if you are fixing your mind on me, matprasadat, by my grace. Now hereafter, all is God's grace. You will see that in the rest of this chapter. Until now, it is all self-effort. Beginning from second chapter, when Bhagavan began to speak to Arjuna, the first thing he says is, Uttishta, get up, become active, give up this weak faint-heartedness. Laibhyam masmagamah partha naita tvayi papadyate. Chapter 2, verse number 3. Kshudram hriyadorbalyam tektva uttishta parantapa. Giving up this unbecoming faint-heartedness, stand up, uttishta. Then continues that one, emphasis on self-effort. Nyatam kuru karmatvam karmajayosya karmanaha. Third chapter. You have to perform all your required duties. Should not be inactive. Then he says, in the subsequent chapter, emphasis on Karma Yoga. Chapter 6, Shloka number 5 and 6. Shlokas 5 and 6. There he says, lift yourself by your own effort. Self-effort is very important for a person. We should not say, God will do everything for me. No, I must do my duties and do the best I can. Self-effort. There is a 6:5, chapter 6, verse 5. Uddharet-atmanatmanam natmanam avasadayet atmana atmanam uddharet. One has to lift oneself up by one's own effort. I want to do something, I want to get something, I want to work for it. Self-effort is emphasized there. Atmaiva hyatmano bandhuhu. We can be our own best friend. Atmaiva ripuratmanaha. I can be my own worst enemy. By making wrong choices and performing self-destructive activities. So self-effort, atmana atmanam uddharet. So that's how the emphasis was on self-effort, work. Now, until now. Now here onwards, beginning from verse 56, Matprasadat, you see the same phrases come there. Chapter 50, verse 56 in chapter 8. By grace, everything happens by the grace of God. We have to do our effort. But even our effort also is possible only by the grace of God. He has given us some ability to do some work. And we think we are doing it on our own power. No, it is all God's power that makes me do all these things that I am doing. It's all His grace. That understanding will take time to come. Now He says, until now He said, work hard. You have to do your own work. Lift yourself up by your own effort. That was what was given. Now everything matprasadat, by His grace. Even our self-effort, which we think I am doing on my own power, His power. It's His power that makes me do everything. I can't blink my eyes once without his power, making it possible for me to do so. I can't breathe. I cannot say one word without his power, making me able to do that one. I can't take one step. Nothing. Everything happens. I am doing all these things. But it happens by his grace, his power. It reaches all 100%. 100% self-effort. Uttishta, 11th chapter, sloka 33. He said again the same thing. Tasmat uttishta, yasholabasva, you get up, 1133. Tamuttishta, yasholabasva, gain fame, yasholabasva, jitva shatrun, conquering the enemies, samuddam rajyam, bhungshva, enjoy the great kingdom. You do all these things, he says to Arjuna, get up, fight, conquer the enemies, enjoy the kingdom. See how the instructions were given there for self-effort. Do this, enjoy. Now, mat prasada. All these things happen. Arjuna may think I'm fighting and I'm conquering the enemies, I'm killing all these people. He can do so only because of God's grace. But in the beginning, if you say God's grace, then it hampers your self-effort. Oh, God will take care of everything. Everything has happened by God's grace, so I don't have to do anything. That attitude may come. That is not right. We have to do our self-effort. Later on, we realize even what I thought was my self-effort was also God's grace. For that conviction to come, it takes some maturity, some time. Until then, we have to do our self-effort. See how the transition happens? Self-effort, free will, I do everything myself. Gradually, all His grace, everything His power, His grace. Nothing happens except by His grace. Tena vina trinamapi na chalati. Even the blade of grass cannot move except by the grace of God, like that. That understanding will come, maturity of understanding will come. It comes here in the 18th chapter. First, chapter 2 to 17, all self-effort. Do this, get up, do this, get up, do this. You just get up and get ready to fight war. Now, mat prasada tarishyasi. He'll cross over all obstacles by my grace. So, 58. Machitta sarva machitta, keeping your mind fixed on me all the time. Sarva durgani. Durga means obstacle, something that is difficult to cross. The fix do means difficult. Su means sukha dukkha. Durga means difficult to go, difficult to cross. Some obstacle in life. Sarva durgani, all obstacles in life. Mat prasadat, by my grace, tarishasi will cross over. Until now, by self-effort, you have to cross all the obstacles, work hard, achieve the result. Now, mat prasadat, sarva durgani tarishyasi, you will cross over all the obstacles by my grace. See how beautiful the transition is. So in the beginning, we should not say God's grace, but then our self-effort should be done. Later, gradually, as maturity comes of our understanding, what I thought was my self-effort was also God's grace. See, that understanding will come. So if you tell a child everything is God's grace, then the child will say, oh, then I don't have to do anything. No, you have to work hard, get good grades, go to school every day. That self-effort, do this, get up early in the morning, study, go to school at the right time. All emphasis on you do. Later on, that child will grow up and realize all I did, what I thought I did by my own effort, happened because of God's grace. He made it possible for me to do. Without His grace, I could not have done anything. It takes time for that understanding to come. Mat prasada tarishyasi. Or if we don't do that one, if I think I am doing everything by myself, I'll make the decision to fight or not. What happens? Second line of 58. Ata chet tvam ahaṃkārāt. because of your own egoism, thinking that I can do everything, ahaṃkārāt, yadi chet, if you do that one, nashrośyasi, you see the word not there, nashrośyasi. If you don't listen to my advice, Shravanam means listening. Then what happens? Vinangśyasi, you will perish. Dire warning Krishna gives here to Arjuna after giving all those instructions from chapter 2 onwards. And then explaining everything happens by God's grace. Now it is left to Arjuna to take the advice given by Krishna, follow his advice, get up and be active and start fighting, remembering everything happens by his grace, but putting self-effort. Self-effort should be there. Then what happens? Then mat prasad, by my grace, sarvadurgani tarishyasi. Bhagavan said, you will cross over all obstacles. You will reach the goal. Happiness will come. Otherwise, atachet, if ahaṃkārāt, because of your own egoism, nashrośyasi, if you don't listen to my words, do your own thing, you don't want to fight. Yeah, in spite of telling me all these things that you have to fight with so many reasons, I still don't want to fight. If you do that one, what happens? Vinangśyasi. If you don't listen to my words, nashrośyasi chet, then you will perish. We should pay heed to God's words, instructions. That is a warning Sri Krishna gives. 58. Now we go to 59. Same continuation. You have to listen to the advice given by the Lord. 59. Yadahaṃkāramāśritya na yotsya iti manyase mithyaiṣa vyavasāyaste prakṛtistvāṃ niyokṣyati. Your very bones will make you work. What Sri Ramakrishna said to Narendra, you will have to dedicate your life to the service of humanity, not for your own samadhi. Narendra said, I want to remain absorbed in nirvikalpa samadhi, and once in 2-3 days I will come out and eat some food and go back to samadhi. Forget it. He said, no. It's what a petty-minded thing you have. You have much more greater role to play than that one. Achieving samadhi for oneself is for ordinary people. That's all they can do. But you are supposed to play much bigger role, like a banyan tree. Getting into samadhi for yourself is nothing. That is small. But you have to help thousands of people to get samadhi. You should be like a banyan tree which supports so many other beings, provide shade. And on the banyan trees, large number of small things live. Bees and birds and squirrels and everything, they live there. Be like a banyan tree. Give shade to so many people. So like that one here, Sri Krishna says to Arjuna, yadahaṃkāramāśritya, that's 59. Yotsya ite manyase. If you, because of your own egoism, ahaṃkāra, yotsya, I'm not going to fight. If you said, that's what he said at the end of the first chapter, I don't want to fight. That's how the first chapter ended. Arjuna gave so many reasons he gave. How to kill our own enemy, our own relatives and friends, cousins. No, I don't want to fight. Kept down the Gandiva and sat down. No, get up, fight, he said. Now, if you don't do that one, if you don't do your duty as I'm explaining to you, second attempt explain to you, you will very bones will make you work. Prakṛtistvāṃ niyokṣyati. Mithyaiṣa vyavasāyaste. Your decision not to fight is futile. It won't happen. Mithya, it won't happen. You may say you don't want to fight. No. You will, by your very nature, will make you get up and fight. Prakṛtistvāṃ. Prakriti here means one's own nature. Prakriti is explained as vyavasāyaste. Prakriti kshatriya svabhavaha. Say, Arjuna was born in a kshatriya family. And his nature is explained in the earlier chapters, the 18th chapter. There, Bhagavan Shri Krishna explained what are the qualities of a kshatriya. One quality of kshatriya is yuddhe cha pyapalayanam shauryam dhanam shura. All these are kshatriya's quality. They are born with their tendencies, inborn tendencies. That's prakriti. Everyone is born with a certain inborn tendencies from previous life cycles, what we have thought and done, how we have shaped our own character. Every moment we are shaping our character. Now also, every moment, we are building our character by what we do, how we say, how we think, and what we do, what we think. We are building our character moment by moment. So we have built our character until now. I have acquired these tendencies from my birth. I have some natural tendency. That's why I gravitated somehow to this life. Everybody gravitates to something because of their inherited inborn tendencies. Sri Ramakrishna explains, M did not believe in inherited tendencies at the beginning, but later, he accepted. Inborn tendencies play an important role in man's life, in human life. We all build our own tendencies. We are building our tendencies this moment by doing what we are doing. At this moment, somebody is doing something else. We are doing here Gita study. We are creating our own character, our own personality by doing what we are doing. So Kshatriya has been doing, life after life, a Kshatriya has been fighting enemies, protecting the country, law enforcement. That's his prakriti. Prakṛtistvāṃ niyokṣyati, your very own prakriti, your inner tendencies will make you fight. You may think you don't want to fight. That won't happen. Your very prakriti nature will make you get up and fight. No matter what you say, don't want to fight, etc. That won't happen. Your nature will make you fight because you're a kshatriya. Yuddhe cha pyapalayanam. One of the qualities of prakriti is in fight, in battle, yuddha, war, apalayanam, not running away. You stand up and fight. Ordinary person will see the enemy and out of fear he may run away. Not a kshatriya. You stand up. In spite of difficulties, overwhelming obstacles, a person has to stand up and do what is required to be done. That is kshatriya's quality. You have that one. You are born with that tendency. That very tendency with which you are born will make you fight. If you think you don't want to fight, it won't happen. Your very nature will make you fight. Prakṛtistvāṃ niyokṣyati. That is 59. Then 60. Sabhavajena kaunteya nibaddhasvena karmana kartum nechasi yanmohat karishyasi avashopi. That same repetition. If you say you don't want to fight, mohena, because of your delusion, these are all my relatives and friends and cousins and brothers, how can I fight? This is battle, this is war field, not a family gathering where your relatives are there. No. And your life is at stake. If you don't fight, you will be killed. It's either you are there. Duryodhana won't let you stay even in the forest. He wants you to die. Even when they were in the forest, he did so many things to trouble the Pandavas, Duryodhana. He refused to give 5 villages to them. You have no choice. You have to fight for your rights. And your very inborn tendency as a kshatriya will make you fight. All this talk about I don't want to fight is not going to work. Mithyaiṣa vyavasāyaste. Your decision not to fight is futile. It won't happen like that. So number 60. Sabhavajena kaunteya. Sabhavaja means born of sabhava, inherited tendency. Sabhava means one's own nature. Sabhava. How do sabhava is formed? Svena karmana nibaddaha. Svena karmana sabhavajena nibaddaha. You are bound. Every one of us is bound by our own inherited tendencies. We act according to our tendencies. If 2 people are placed in the same situation, they act differently. One person reacts to it in one way, another person reacts to the same situation in a different way. Why? Because their inherited tendencies are different. If 2 people are walking together, and then a mugger comes with a knife. One of them will run away. Another will confront him. Hey, what can you do? I also can fight with you. Inherited tendencies are different. Everybody reacts to certain situation according to their own, each person's own tendency. Your tendency as a Kshatriya is to fight. You are going to fight. You may say you don't want to fight. It won't work. It will very naturally make you fight. Sabhavajena karmana nibaddaha. You are bound by your own tendencies, inborn, sabhavajena. By your own actions, we build our tendencies. We are building our tendencies every moment, even now, by doing what we are doing. By studying Gita, we are strengthening our tendency to study Gita and scriptures, and this our line of life will have shape like this one. You could be doing something else, watching TV at this time, then that will become our tendency. Entertainment, TV, sports, World Cup is happening. We are not doing that. We are studying Gita. So what we do shapes our tendency, our character, our personality, what we have done, what we think. So you are necessarily Kshatriya. You have been doing it all your life, earlier lives also. So that will make you fight. No matter what you say, you don't want to fight. It won't work, mister. As Krishna says to Arjuna. Kartum nature yan mohat. Because of delusion, misunderstanding, you don't want to work, don't want to fight. Karishyasi, you will have to fight. You will do it. Avashopi, in spite of yourself. No matter what you say, you don't want to fight, you are going to fight, Arjuna. All this talk about not wanting to fight is not going to work. Your very nature will make you fight. See how Sri Krishna is telling Arjuna, persuading him to fight. You follow his own tendency. Eventually, he will fight. But he is hesitating. Moha means, how can I kill that? It's a battlefield, mister. It's not a family gathering where you can be friends and relatives and everything. My cousin, man, no, not that one. Your life is at stake. If you don't fight, you will be killed. You will be killed. It's either you or they. Get up and fight. Then very important verse comes, next 61. Very important verse. 61 and 66 are two key shlokas in this chapter. So 61, the idea is already familiar to us from many previous shlokas. There the Lord says, Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriddesharjuna tishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantrarodhani mayaya. Brahmayan. Very nice verse. First line is very easy to understand, familiar to us from earlier shlokas. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriddeshe Arjuna tishtati. Arjuna is Sambodhana Bhakti, Vakyatik case. O Arjuna, sarvabhutanam hriddeshe, in the hearts of all the beings. Hrit means Hridaya, the heart. Ishvara tishtati, the Lord is Ishvara, is present. This has come so many times before. In the 10th chapter, shloka number 20, Sri Krishna had said, Ahamatma Gudakesha Sarva Bhutashayastitaha. Gudakesha means addressing Arjuna. Oh Arjuna, Aham, I, the Lord is saying, Atma, the self of all. Sarva Bhutanam Atma, self of all beings. Sarva Bhutashayastitaha. I'm present in the hearts of all the beings as the very self. God is very self of our being. My body, mind, etc., they are the containers. He is the content. He is the kshetrajna. He is present there. So we are not the containers. We are the content. Our misunderstanding of the body and the mind. So he is present in us. Sarvabhutanam hriddesha Arjuna tishtati. 10th chapter he said that one. In 13th chapter he made it clearer. In 13th chapter, shloka 27-28, Swamiji emphasized these two shlokas in his lectures. There, Bhagavan Sri Krishna had said, Samam sarveshu bhuteshu, 13:27. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram. Sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram. Samam, in the same way, alike, not more in some, less in others. We see differences from person to person. No two people are alike. Some are very pious, some are very wicked, some are in between. Some are weak, some are strong. But his presence is the same. Then where do the differences come from? If same God is present in all the people in the same being, then everybody should be equally strong and pious and pure. No. Mind and body. All purity, impurity is in the mind. But God's presence is beyond that one. Buddhe paraha. Chapter 3, verse 42. Bhagavan Shri Krishna says, where did the Lord reside in our heart? Where means where in the personality? Buddhe paratastu saha. 342. Indriyane paranyahuhu. Indriyabhyah param manaha. Sense organs are the outermost things. Indriya. They're important. Parani. Indriyabhyah param manaha. Mind is more important sense organ because mind controls the sense organs. Mind is also a sense organ. Superior sense organ. Manasustha para buddhihi. Superior to manas is buddhi, mind, the intellect, which makes decisions, right and wrong, good and bad, true and false, real and real. Buddhi. Yo buddhe paratastu saha. Beyond the buddhi, he is there, the Lord. Buddhe paraha. Beyond the buddhi is there. And everyone, samaha. So where are the differences then? If he same, in the mind, in the buddhi, in the manas and senses in the body, differences are there. Some are good, some are clean, some are sattvic, some are rajasic. That's why you see differences from person to person. But his presence is the same. Samam sarve, 1327. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram. The Lord Parameshwara is sitting same in all. Sarveshu bhuteshu. Even in those who don't believe in God, who don't believe in his existence, he is present unconditionally. His presence does not depend upon our acceptance or belief. He is there in all the beings, whether we are aware of his presence or not. Whether we want to know him or not, he is present. Sarvesh tishtantam parameshwaram. And the body's remains are temporary, containers are temporary. Vinashyatsu sharireshu. Avineshantam parameshwaram. The Parameshwara is avinashi. His presence is permanent. When the body is there or not, when the body is young or old, in childhood and old age, and all the time he is present in us. When the body goes, also he still is present. Even when the body goes, his presence does not cease. That did you study that one? Chapter 2, shloka number 20. When the body dies, his presence will cease. No. Najayate mriyate va kadachit 220. Ayam bhutva bhavita va nabhuyaha. Ajo nitya shastataim puran nahanyate hanyamane sharire. Sharire hanyamane, when the body dies, which all bodies have to die sooner or later, nahanyate atmana hanyate, is there. Permanent presence. Unchanging presence. So that we have to see. That's what he is mentioning here. Sarva bhutanam hriddeshe Arjuna tishtati Ishvaraha tishtati, Lord is present there. 1327. Again in 15th chapter said the same thing. Chapter 15, verse 15. I am present in the hearts of all being, he said, 15:15 also. In 15:15, let me see. Chapter 16, 15, 19. You should remember that one. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishtaha. Sarvasya hridi aham sannivishtaha. The Lord is saying very clearly, there is no equivocation here. Sarvasya hridi, in the hearts of all, aham sannivishtaha. I am present. How much clearer, more clearer do we want? Again and again he has said, I am present in all. So we have to become aware of his presence, not only first step, and then you have to experience his presence. That's the key to liberation. If I don't do that one, if I disregard his presence in me, spend all my life at the body-mind level only, not going beyond the mind, beyond the buddhi, where he is, then this precious human life gift is squandered away. So we have to know the presence of God. Repeatedly, we have been told, I am present in all. So what we should do? We have to try to know him, feel his presence, experience his presence, know him. That is the purpose. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hriddesha arjuna tishtati, 1861. Then what does he do there? Second line. Brahmayan sarvabhutani yantrarudhani mayaya. Remember merry-go-round. If you go to some amusement place, a merry-go-round is there. Children sit down on the horses, wooden horses, and the machine revolves and they go round and round. They are happy, squealing joyfully. Like that, we are going round and round, life after life after life, driven by our own karma. We have to get off of that merry-go-round and be independent. As long as you are sitting there in the merry-go-round, you are going round and round in samsara chakra. We call it chakra cycle, life after life. What drives us? Why are we there? Why can't we get off the merry-go-round and stand firmly on the ground and enjoy this scene? Because of our karma, our desires, our karma, good and bad, prarabdha. This life has to go on. And what is the power behind all these things? The Lord, Ishvara Sarabhutana. It happens according to our own karma. Some remain in the merry-go-round longer. Some are going at very high speed, reeling head, and some slowly, nicely. Sceneries are good, sometimes not bad, not so good. It's all karma-driven. Our lives are karma-driven. Unlike the lives of ever perfect Nityasiddhas. Nityasiddhas like say Swami Vivekananda and Swami Brahmarupananda and other rishis, their lives were not karma-driven. They were not born to work out their karma. They were born for loka sangraha, to help other people. The only purpose why Swamiji took human birth was to help the world. What else? He had no desire to fulfill. He was the rishi absorbed in deep meditation in the higher regions. So Sri Ramakrishna went and brought him down. Why? You have to work for the world. The world needs somebody like you. That's why he came. He took birth. As soon as the mission was over, 39 years, he left. The mission was to, as he said himself, the mission of Swamiji's life was to remind everyone of their inherent divinity. Go from door to door and tell people God is within you. That was what he tried to accomplish. Full of sacrifice, full of hard work, no rest for him. Why? He didn't have any desire to become famous or anything, no. For the welfare of humanity. That's why he was born. Ever said that. They never get onto the merry-go-round. Ordinary jivas, because of our karma desires, we get into that cycle, go round and round, birth after birth, life after life, suffering, enjoying, suffering, enjoying. So we have to get off of that merry-go-round. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriddesha arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantra rudhani, as if they are mounted on a yantra, on a machine. Maya, why? Because of Maya. Mayaya chadmana brahmayan tishtati iti sambandha. They resemble wooden puppets set on machine, called to revolve through the Maya or illusion. Maya illusion means ignorance of our true nature. We think we are this human being. I think I'm this person born in such a place who did this work, went to school there, and they introduced like that one. I was born in such and such a year, in such and such a place. I went to that school. I went to Ramakrishna Mission School. People introduced themselves. And then I did PhD in such and such a university. Now I'm working for such and such a company or department. That's how they introduce themselves. These are not here. These are all temporary descriptors. They change. They have not that one. And the self. So we don't know who we are. Because of that lack of self-knowledge, we think we are this person, egoism, this karma I did, I want this to be happy, I want to gain that one. Because of this, they're going round and round. If you realize our true divine nature, I'm not the body mind, I'm the Atman, I'm that, then there is no merry-go-round. You're off, you're free. Not going around in circles anymore. That is number 61. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriddesharjuna tishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantrarudhani mayaya. We'll stop there. Next verse. Therefore, what we have to do? Most important instruction comes in the next 2-3 verses. He says in 62, Tamiva Sharanam Gacham Sarva Bhavena Bharatam. Therefore, take refuge in him alone. Sharanagati. The Sharanagati topic will come here. Until now, no Sharanagati. Work, work, work. Get up and work, get up and work. Now, surrender everything to me. Everything happens by my grace. Take refuge in me. Sharanagati. That instruction will come. See the transition. That's how the teaching ends. So, let us continue next time. As we'll say the closing prayer. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, may all be happy, may all be free from afflictions, may all realize what is noble and auspicious, may no one be subject to misery. Om, peace. May there be peace and joy in our hearts. May there be peace and harmony amongst all beings. And may there be peace everywhere in nature. Harihi Om Tat Sat Sarvam Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Thank you all. Stay well and God willing, see you next week. Namaskar.